Well, as far as the energy sector in the country is concerned, DJ Vimala Surendra's name stands out as the pioneer in Sri Lanka's energy sector. And now, given the current context of the situation in this sector in Sri Lanka, Dr. Suren Batagoda's name stands out and is rather unforgettable. And he is the Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy. He, in fact, carved his name in gold, following a statement he made to the COPE recently. Well, we're now joined by Deshan Gonawala at the newsroom. Deshan, could you clear the air on what this situation we are in at the moment?
Absolutely, Shaheen. Now, Dr. Suren Batagoda, the Secretary of the Ministry, was caught lying at the COPE hearing earlier. Now, the issue that we are discussing at the moment is, of course, the buying of emergency power of 200 megawatts from a Turkish barge early in April. We, of course, first brought this up to your attention in May. Yesterday's Suren News broadcast saw a news item on a 200 megawatt electricity matter being shown. We got a proposal from the Turkish ambassador. These proposals are usually considered non-solicited proposals. When we receive such proposals, we tend to analyze them, especially now, in a backdrop where the government has identified there is a shortage in power supply. Now, of course, like it was mentioned, these are what you call unsolicited proposals. COPE Committee Chairman Sunil Handunetti also queried Secretary Dr. Batagoda on what basis these Turkish companies were considered. And this is what he had to say. We put in the paper that we wanted alternative power sources to meet the shortfall. We did not mention it is diesel or anything else. The response came in for that tender. Then we thought that we can get 200 megawatts in a short time, especially during Vesak and Posun, since we need a lot of power. Especially since if there are power cuts during that period, we would be subject to great public pressure. So we thought that if we had an alternative, that we should take it. Now, Dr. Suren Batagoda has blatantly lied at the COPE hearing. Now, this was challenged. The statements by Dr. Batagoda were challenged by an official of the CEB who said that this company was not considered as per the advertising by the Ceylon Electricity Board. Actually, this notice was not placed for this purpose. This response was also not with regard to this notice. That I have to say clearly, because we called for bids on the 2nd of May. But their offers came in before that. It is not one that we called for and is one that was given to the ministry in a one-sided manner. No, that is wrong. I do not believe it. We took it as an EOI or an expression of interest. We have 17 or 16 proposals for that, but this wasn't among those proposals. Now, Dr. Batagoda goes on to emphasize that he put this document forward, the proposal forward, based on a request made by the Turkish ambassador. This, again, was challenged by the chairman of the COPE committee, Sunil Handunetti. The Turkish ambassador told me he saw an advertisement in the paper and that they have requested parties in Turkey who may have been interested in providing solutions to give their requirement. Now they're already predicting rather a shortfall of electricity in January. Also, they have said that although the proposal was advertised for in March, that the offer came in from the Turkish party in February. Sunil Handunetti again queried Dr. Batagoda as to how this was possible. So the 22nd of March, but this proposal says February 28th. If the advertisement was placed in March, how did they send a proposal on the 28th of February? We advertised this in March, but we started having discussions before, especially because of the Vesak and Posun season, and we did not want to be in a position where we had to cut power. Yes, there will be a shortage in January next year as well. So this is what happens. You will look for someone to meet the demands, the minister will look for someone, then the CEB will also look for someone. But all of you will look for people for your own needs. Now, as you saw there, the Power and Energy Ministry has always been what people would call a lucrative ministry. Are the interests of the general public, the taxpayer, being considered in making these decisions, or are processes being violated and rules being bent to favor a few? Of course, Shaheen, we'll have to wait and see and hope for the best.